Scarlet Nexus has been a bit of a surprise packet for me this year. Everything I had seen about it was looking good, but I was surprised how much I would actually enjoy it. The game was developed by Bandai Namco, a company who seriously know how to action RPG, as evident with Code Vein and the recent Tales of games. Their latest title, Scarlet Nexus, is an anime-style action RPG set in a futuristic sci-fi world, and these are all ticks for me. There is a lot to love about this game, and I have a feeling that it's going to tick many of your boxes too. Yeah, that sounded kinda weird. Anyway, if you liked this review, it would help me out a lot if you hit the like button and subbed for more RPG related videos. A copy of this game was also provided to me by Bandai Namco, and this review is based on the PS5 version of the game. Alright, let's get into it. Scarlet Nexus is set in the future where a specific hormone was discovered in the human brain. This provided the vast majority of humans with a range of different powers from psychokinesis to invisibility. Sometime after this discovery, strange mutant creatures known as Others descended to the world from above, wreaking havoc on the planet. This is where the OSF or Other Suppression Force comes in. This military-like group were established to defend humanity by recruiting those with the strongest powers. At the start of the game, you get to choose from two main characters, Yuito or Kasane, who are both new recruits to the OSF and both possess psychokinetic powers. Both of these characters joined the OSF for different reasons and both have their own different backstories, so the events that you experience through the game will be different depending on who you choose. If you want to get the most out of the game and see events from both different point of views, then you're going to have to play through the game twice. Now, I'm a sucker for sci-fi stories with strange, interesting concepts, and Scarlet Nexus delivered in every way. The narrative unfolds in a series of phases, and each of these are well paced, gradually building up to the climax. I found the story to be one of the best things about Scarlet Nexus. Now, each phase is structured with a dungeon to work through and a boss, each involving some sort of significant story progression. Between each of these phases, your characters will get some downtime which can be used to bond with other party members or work through side quests. Bonding works by giving your allies gifts and also viewing scenes with them, which will provide insights into their personalities and backstories. The side quests, however, are absolutely deplorable and are nowhere near the high standard of the rest of the game. The majority of these quests require you to kill a certain type of enemy a certain type of way, such as in mid-air or with electricity. I felt no incentive to do any of these, not just because they were boring as hell, fire, but also because the rewards for doing so were seriously lacking. There was a perfect opportunity here to expand the lore and character development within these side quests, but it seems that they were just thrown in at the last minute because the developers felt they had to. In fact, aside from viewing these bonding events, there really isn't anything worthwhile outside of the story to actually do.
They're landing here in the city.
All units, double time! Go on the second way through! Fire!
Scarlet Nexus looks incredible. From the anime character models to the detailed, stunning backgrounds, this is one of the best looking games I've ever played. The majority of the cutscenes are presented in a comic book style, with different frames popping in and out depending on what's happening at the moment. Now, I think we would all prefer regular, fully animated scenes to deliver the story, and we do get these some of the time, but I felt that this comic book style was still pretty effective. I think that the reason this works well is not only due to the excellent voice acting, but also that there is always something happening, with the frames constantly changing, never overstaying their welcome. Something that did seem a little strange though was that these large frames featured no lip syncing. The only time that there is lip syncing is with these smaller character specific frames. I mean, this wasn't a major issue, but it did seem a little odd at times, particularly at the start of the game. So Scarlet Nexus looks amazing in every way, and this includes both the dungeons and the cities. Each dungeon is highly detailed with some beautiful backgrounds. You know, the kind of beautiful that makes you just want to lay back, sip your cappuccino and stare out into the beyond. Unfortunately, the praise for the dungeons end here. I felt that there wasn't nearly enough variety in this area, as many of the dungeons are revisited throughout the story multiple times, and this can feel a bit repetitive. Not only this, but the dungeon design is also lacking. The earlier dungeons are completely linear, with only a few optional branches scattered throughout, while the later ones are larger but so repetitive. This, and the fact that the map reveals all, eliminates any sort of exploration, which is something that I really desired.
Let's welcome our new members for this year. Kasane, Naomi, introduce yourselves. Kasane Randall. My power is psychokinesis. Pleased to meet you.
Is that all? You seem shyer than I thought. All right, next.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Naomi Randall. I'm Kasane's older sister, and my power is precognition. I can only see the immediate future, though.
As time goes on, the amount of new, innovative ideas in video games seems to appear less and less, which is why throwing shit around the battlefield with your mind was so appealing to me. Yuito and Kasane can both use psychokinesis. The only real difference between their playstyles is that Yuito is designed for more close-range melee attacks, while Kasane is designed to attack with more distance between her foes. Their powers give them the ability to move objects around the battlefield and slam them into the enemy. This can be done at any time by holding the R2 button, provided that there is an object nearby and that they have enough in the gauge. This is further enhanced by the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers provided with the PS5 controllers. I seriously love these controllers. In addition, there are some environment-specific objects that can be triggered through holding L2 that require a QuickTime event input to maximize their damage. Some examples of these include large power poles, giant chandeliers, or freaking airboarding through your enemies. Pulling these off successfully was a great feeling. Your success in battle will depend on how well you can mix your regular attacks in with throwing objects at your enemies. It's all about creating combos with physical and psychokinetic attacks while keeping your psycho gauge at a high enough level. This combat is then taken to the next level by borrowing the powers of other characters, and these work on a cooldown system. For instance, by activating Arashi's hypervelocity power, you can slow down time and unleash loads of damage, while using Kyoko's duplication ability allows you to create clones of yourself and multiply damage output. Using these skills at the right time and in combination with one another adds loads of depth to this combat system. Kasane and Yuito can also fight alongside two other party members, and prior to battle you can assign them AI styles, but the depth here is really lacking. In fact, the only thing that really sets one character aside from another is that their abilities are enhanced when used in battle. I'll also point out that Scarlet Nexus can be quite challenging until you learn all of its ins and outs. I only played the game on normal, but still managed to die quite a few times. This is something that I really enjoyed, as it actually made me think about my actions rather than just spamming the same strategy over and over again, which happens with games a lot lately. You can upgrade your chosen main character through spending BP to upgrade their brains. This is something that I wish I could do in real life, as there are far too many idiots out there who could use some brain upgrades. None of you guys, of course. You are all super smart for choosing to watch my content, so thank you. Anyway, this brain tree allows you to focus on 5 paths, specializing in different areas, but I just picked upgrades from all areas that suited my playstyle. The extent of decent RPG upgrade mechanics ends here. The equipment, for instance, is incredibly basic. You're only given a few options in accessories to equip, as well as a single weapon type that can only be gradually upgraded in its attack strength. And as mentioned before, there are also bonding points that allow you to upgrade the powers of your allies that can then be tapped into during battle. Each ally has 6 bonding levels to upgrade, which is nice, but I would have liked some sort of choice over how they evolve. And that's pretty much it. With more options to strengthen your character and some control over the growth of your allies, Scarlet Nexus could have taken these basic RPG mechanics to the next level. Scarlet Nexus has a lot going for it and does so many things exceptionally well. The anime style visuals look absolutely breathtaking and is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. I am also a huge sucker for sci-fi stories, and Scarlet Nexus delivers in this area with loads of awesome concepts and a story full of great twists and turns. The combat is also awesome and mixes some decent action RPG mechanics with the ability to throw things around the place with your mind. Now that is cool. But while these aspects are top tier, Scarlet Nexus is let down by poor dungeon design, boring pointless side quests, and some light RPG upgrade mechanics. This resulted in limited exploration and a lack of optional content, which meant that all there was to do was to progress through the story. With that said, Scarlet Nexus was still a lot of fun from start to finish, and if you're into this anime style and want a modern JRPG to sink your teeth into, then this is definitely worth looking into. Have you had a chance to play this yet? What did you think? Let me know in the comments. This was Hellfire RPGs. Thanks for watching. If you liked this, hit like and sub for loads more RPG related videos. See you next time.